Hey there, folks, it's me, your old pal, Officer Hank Schlitz, the Game Cop, coming to you over this thing called the internet to bring you, what's this, a game review? Oh, heaven forbid, yeah, I still do that sometimes if the fancy tickles my pickle, if you will. And what are we talking about today? Well, folks, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're gonna be seeing me eating a big old pile of crow today because we're talking about a game called God of War 2018, newest release of the series. And, if you're not aware, because you're definitely aware of God of War, but if you're not aware, and you know you're not aware because no one watched this video because nobody watches any of my videos. I made a video about God of War and video game reviews in general, talking about the game sight unseen because everyone was saying it was so great and it was so goddamn predictable that everyone was saying it was so great. And I was pretty skeptical myself. I wasn't convinced. Didn't buy it. But there is a point, folks, where I cannot resist anymore. They do this thing on the PlayStation Store. They discount the games. And you just could not resist at a certain point. Imagine, if you will, I'm going to demonstrate this with math so you can understand. There's an x-axis over here. X represents price. And over here we got a y-axis representing hype. The lines go up and down, and at some point they intersect, and on that point of intersection is where your old buddy Hank Schlitz cannot resist purchasing the game anymore. There's just a certain point where it's too low a price, and it's been talked about so much that I just gotta know for myself. My buddy can't resist it. I saw it on the PlayStation Store, and I saw the price. It was like $30, $40. I was like, okay, cool. Not gonna buy it. Said I wasn't gonna play it. Not gonna play it. Integrity intact. Good night. And I went and I sat and I stared at the wall like I do on my time off. And I was, began to feel a sensation. My body began to vibrate. What's happening? Is there an earthquake? And my bones started to hurt and ache. Is a storm about? And then my eyes were shaking and bleeding. My God, what's happening to me? I realized that my body was rejecting the decision I had made. It said, you have to purchase this because it's too inexpensive. My American bones would not allow me to pass up such savings. So I bought it, and we're here to talk about it. And it's, I'm just kidding. What'd you think I was going to say? It was bad? Fuck no. It's the greatest game ever made. Of course it is. That's why everybody said it was. No one's ever wrong about these things. That'd be ridiculous. So, I was just talking about why it's so good. Why not? Well, the combat. Everyone loves the combat, and of course they should love the combat because it's so good and so much fun. I love hacking people to bits and chopping them up and reaching inside the guts and pulling my face inside and giving them here's Johnny with blood all over my face. Oh, it's so much fun. And I really love how whenever you chop a guy up and you see him split apart in all these different ways, that they don't come up with any different ways to do it, because it was really shocking the first time I saw it. It was exciting, but I was like, oh, can my body take all this thrilling, daring excitement? And it definitely would not have been able to, but thankfully God of War didn't feel the need to show me any new animations or even change the camera angle a little bit so that I would be fooled. A stupid person like me would think it's a different thing happening, but they didn't do that. It's shown the exact same way every time. Every time you kill a troll, you grab the axe, you slam it down, you slam it on the head, you land on the ground, boom, what a thing. And it was just better the 20th time I saw it, 30 times, 40 times. I can't get enough. Just show me the same thing over and over and over again, God of War, because you're so good at it. You show me what's really good. And also, I love the camera. The camera is just like perfect. I don't want to be able to see everything that's going on around me. I like the camera to be pretty much centered right about here on the small of the back where you put like a tramp stamp or so. And I like that God of War does that so that, if I want to see anything, I have to swivel around like a fucking gorilla or Michael Keaton's Batman costume, 1980 something. I don't know when that movie came out. And, I like that you literally can't see your whole body, so that when you get a nice cool piece of armor, you can't even see what it looks like on you because the camera's just so goddamn oppressively close that you literally can't see what's going on around you. It's really good. Now, I was kind of concerned in the beginning of this game because it was showing all this crazy kooky things to me and I didn't like it. You go to Elfheim and, I'm expecting to see rolling green hills. I'm told it's the land of the elves, right? Elves. I know elves. I've seen Lord of the Rings. Thank you very much. So I'm expecting rolling hills, castles made out of white ivory towers, and of course, delicious blonde gentlemen. But I didn't see any of that. I get to the land of the elves. It's full of these bug things and pink flowers and all this stuff going on around me. I was very confused. I saw this, going there to do a quest, and I got all these side quests and doing here. What the fuck is this? I don't want to be doing any of that. There's too much stuff to do in Alfheim, and I was like, oh, I don't know why people think this game is so great. It's a big stinker show, but then it showed that, it slowed down, it took its pace, and it stopped showing me all this crazy, kooky new stuff that was hurting my brain parts, okay? Like, I was really scared when you were gonna go to hell, and I was like, oh God, they took elves, something that was comforting to me, blonde, beautiful men. Who doesn't feel good about that? And I, was terrified the whole time. I could barely look at the screen because of the horrors that were being presented with me, all these crazy, kooky things. Hell, what could that be? Oh, it's probably some really insane ideas, some really creative stuff going on in hell. Really shaking in my shivvies here. But then I get to hell, and it's just a fucking ice world that you have to open a bunch of doors in. And I was like, thank God, this is a video game that I can recognize. We just have to run from the, beginning of the hallway to the end of the hallway. Don't slip on the ice. Make sure you open all the doors. That was very comforting to me. I appreciated that. Once, I remember when I, got into that world where you get to go to all the different realms and select your dimension, please. And I was terrified. I'd just been to Alfheim, and I was like, oh God, what horrors await me in Muspelheim or Niflheim. Those are going to have some crazy, crazy ideas in them for sure. But then I got to Muspelheim expecting to be fighting fire giants and talking to lava people and getting to understand their concerns. But what happened was it was just an arena. It was just an arena where you fight timed battles of all the enemies you'd already been fighting throughout the entire game. And I was thrilled by this. I was like, thank God, something I recognized, a part in this storm that I've been experiencing. It was very, very nice to just have a totally average, totally expected thing that's in every single fucking video game be the revelation of the secret area. I wasn't expecting anything cool or different here, and I was not disappointed, thank God, even though the terror was still in my heart, And the same with Niflheim. I was very concerned. I was like, oh, this place sounds pretty strange. It's like a broken dimension, and the guy like fucked it up. There might be some weird creatures here. There might be some special story stuff going on. But I got there, and it was just a maze full of gas, and there's no point to it other than getting to the end and finding the treasure. And I was really glad that there wasn't any story to interact with. There wasn't any new stuff. And then none of the stuff to confuse my mind and make me all terrified, so I could just sit there and play the game, because that's the best thing about the game, is just chopping up people. And when it has story bits, and when it has, parts of the mythology, and trying to, teach you some neat stuff about the history of these mythological characters and whatnot, that's really irritating. I don't like that. I like my games to be predictable and recognizable as a game, and that's what God of War is doing for me. It was making sure I wasn't surprised or scared of anything, and that I just knew everything that was going to happen right away, and that nothing new was going to come on the horizon after the first 4 hours of the game. No more giant skeletons, no more crazy elf places, just Iceland, Fireland. Take your mama's ashes to the giant world. We're gonna go there. I was very terrified at first. Spoiler alert: the task you begin in the game, you accomplish at the end of the game, and you take your mama's ashes to the land of giants. I was very scared. I was like, what is this place? It's no one's been here in ages. There could be all sorts of things going on in Jotunheim, the land of the giants. But then you get there, and you just see a bunch of dead giants, and you can't interact with them, and you can't do anything, or walk around, or even get any closer to them. It's basically a wallpaper, and I was very, very assured by that, because wallpaper makes me feel very safe. It makes me think of the 70s and the time where I felt right in my life, and like everything was good, not in these crazy, crazy times, feminism, vaping pens, my God, but I digress. It was really comforting that they didn't throw any surprises at me later on in the game. They keep talking about Thor and Odin, and they're getting mad, they're coming on the horizon, you better get ready for them. But then it was really a comfort to me that they didn't end up showing up. I was really glad that that, all this stuff that they kept talking about over and over and over again didn't happen. And I really, really liked that the last boss was the first boss, because I was very scared it was going to be one of these guys, Odin or Thor, or who knows, maybe I got to fight Freya, maybe there's all sorts of cool stuff happening, but it's, no, you have to fight Baldur again, and that's the beginning, that, the first boss you fight is the last boss, and he's a little faster, he's a little tougher, and it was a great relief to me that it wasn't anything new, because, God of War knows that you can only do so much new stuff, and you should cram it all in the beginning so that anyone that plays it for only a couple of hours will think that this creative experience is extended throughout the entirety of the game. I don't want that. I want something that is familiar and regular ass, because that's the kind of man I am. Meat and potatoes, combat, chopping, mathematical precision in my combat. That's what I'm looking for, because I'm a bit of a sophisticate, I don't need these silly story and things to get in the way. Like, I really like that, the story wasn't anything new either. Like, I had been told that it was different from The Last of Us, and it was different from all these other games where you hang out with a child and he acts as your moral compass. Oh, is you acting mean gonna fuck up your kid? And I was really worried that this was gonna be a different take on it. Thankfully it wasn't. It was basically the exact same thing as The Last of Us with slightly better writing, and that was a great comfort to me, because I just like to see incremental improvements on something that's already been done 15 years ago. I don't like to see any radical changes or any real, creative risks taken. And I'm really glad that God of War got those all out of the way very quickly in the beginning, so that, I was not scared the whole time I was playing this fucking game. And the twist, oh my god, the twist of Loki being he's your son, Atreus. Oh, spoiler alert, he's actually Loki. He's Loki. Oh my god, what a twist! What an incredible twist! It was such an incredible twist. I literally didn't know how to react. I was just like, huh? Wait, what? Why is that important? Oh, okay, sure, yeah. That was all I could do, because my body was just so shocked by the revelation, and one thing I really liked about God of War is that when I turned it off and I beat it all and I got the platinum trophy and I did everything you could do in the game, I didn't think of it once afterwards. I didn't think of any of the characters. I didn't think of anything that happened, except, how it was very similar to how it was from my expectations before I played the game. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. The greatest thing I've ever played. No innovations, nothing new to see here. That's exactly what I want, okay? Do all the stuff in the beginning, repeat it over and over and over again. If you do it right, why would you have to come up with something new? Just come up with 6 ideas and do them over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and you've got a perfect game, all right? And that's God of War. I hope you enjoyed this review. It's a real humdinger, and you're probably not going to get another one anytime soon. So just, watch it over and over and over again, just like God of War. You do the same thing over and over again, and that's a good time. So, taking a note from God of War, watch this over and over and over again, and share it with your friends, and I'll get all your millions of dollars. Yeah. All right. I hope you enjoyed this review from me, Hank Schlitz, the Game Cop. Bye. Game Cop.